covert cloak. Back!
Not even a crack. It seems the Winter King has woven ice too rare and powerful for mere fire. I don't know how long she'll last within that ice. There must be a way. Source Hunter, you have found us. Here she is at last. Oh, but look at her. She has been encased in ice so unyielding that none of my spells melt even a fraction of its surface. You find me at a loss. I admit it. For I've no idea what sorcery, or dare I say it, sorcery will set her free. Like I said, so far my attempts at rescuing her have been about as effective as trapping a robin's shadow. No, I believe that if we want to free Icara, we'll have to find the one who imprisoned her in the first place. This frost-touched magic isn't Leandra's doing. It has Boreas written all over it. The Winter King did this to her. So the Winter King's the key. Not even a crack. It seems the Winter King has woven ice too rare and powerful for mere fire. But
Intruder spied.
You succeed! Keep going! Can I join you for a duet?
Shall I start shredding from the top or the bottom?
It looks like one, but stings like thousands!
My touch can set the very earth alight.
I'll make short work of this scum.
The glow of victory!
Intruder spied. Intruder spied.
Seven, aid me! I invoke the breath of the dragon! Summon Spider!
Life roils within these veins.
No glory in this death.
Behold the power of mages!
What do you think, Source Hunter? Shall I start shredding from the top or the bottom?
From the tiniest spark! Dynamic force!
That force field looks impassable.
Nothing stops a source hunter. We'll find a way yet.
Doesn't seem to be working. What did I do wrong? With this incantation, we can pass the force field that bars the way into the castle.
High time for an audience with King Boreas, I say.
The force field brims with 1,000 distant voices. They seem to be expecting some kind of incantation. The voices sound pleased, then grow distant and evanesce.
There thou art! The upstart that seeketh to upset the harmony of Hiberheim! Why hast thou ventured here, Avatar of Man? Why dost thou seek the downfall of Lord, nay, King Boreas, Sovereign of Winter? So thou seeketh but another human, a worm of no import. But though thou tramplest through my realm and besiegest my fortress, thou shalt not have her! Faery, I have marcheth to the gallows, Hiberheim drawn forth from freeze and frost. How they mocketh me, my brother seasons! Thou art the ugliest quarter, they saith to my frozen face. Thou art the blemish of the year, fool that thou art, my brothers! Winter is the jewel of the seasons, and now it is the ruler of time and Heim! Hiberheim! 'Tis easy when thou hast but to wish upon a well, and the generous pit delivereth unto thee the power of chaos. It doth whisper, the demon straight into my wintry wit, and a woman he sendeth forth into the fields of Faery. The stone of stars, no more doth she ask of me. The stone and blood of imps. In return she giveth unto me this staff, my siblings enslaved within. Strong are they, these immaculates, stronger than thee, for thy wield the powers of darkest demons. And stronger than thee I am too, the lord of all the seasons, the ruler of all the elements, the one king of eternal winter! I, Avatar, I! Thou hast traveled far and delveth deep into the heart of winter. but here thou shalt find thine end. Ice preserveth life and death, and in between the two thou shalt spend the ages in frost encased.
They are but flies to this queen.
Thou shalt have a taste, Avatar, of the cold, dead breath of Boreas!
Focus! Volley! Infernal Orb!
I'll write my next tale in your blood.
Die, vermin! I strike from the soul of air.
will defend you till my death rattle.
Into the earth.
What do you think, Source Hunter? Shall I start shredding from the top or the bottom?
Damn thee, fiend! Upon the torrents of stars, I call to burn thy body!
Lightning crackles from my fingertips.
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
As thrilling as the stage, though not half so bloody.
Champion! I prefer to drown my sorrows with ale. Feel my electric fury! The spirits of winter smile with me! Oh, I'm dripping.
On my feet again. I'm drenched.
Striking it rich!
Ho, hero. 'Tis I, the Summer King. Wholly do I... Hey, quit shoving. Knock it off, will you? I'm trying to... Excuse me. Out of the way. It's Lurian's turn. Well, I thought the day would never come. Thanks for giving old Carrot Face the Great Melt. We and the Earth Kingdom owe you a tremendous... What? Well, you'll have to wait your turn. Oh, for the love of all that's igneous, go ahead then, if it'll stop your owling. I'll answer that. We are the sovereigns of the seasons, kind hero. And we thank you for saving us from our rather deranged brother, the one-time king of winter. I am Sua of the Summer Kingdom. These are my siblings, Semista of Spring and Larian of Autumn. We overheard a crafty little imp named Gigix tell Boreas that the staff can only be destroyed where it was created, the elemental forge. He seemed to imply that the forge was somewhere in Hiberheim itself, but I know not its exact location. Better the crackle of embers than this idiotic blustering. Oh, cover your ears, hero! Nothing whips up a flame like a wild wind! The elemental forge, hero. It's the only way.
Dancing devil sprats, comrade. A talking staff. Burn it before its sauce tendrils start leaching your eye jelly.
Your world is more horrifying than I ever knew.
Gods weep upon the earth. Getting too cold to concentrate.
You who seek the winter treasure, prove your intention, prove your worth. I demand to know if friend you be, the name of the earthen brother of Boreas. Correct you are, and freely may you enter.
Intruders bide. Intruders bide. Intruders bide. Intruders bide. Intruders bide. Intruders bide. Intruder spied.
Sigurd's beard, what a find!
Intruder spied. Intruder spied.
Cleansing cyclone! My target dances in shadows.
Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied.
Easy does it!
Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied.
Missed!
Intruder spied.
Missed!
There's a new penny.
As good as a new pin.
Something seems to have materialized in my pocket.
I'm not going to be the one to fish it out if that's what you're asking.
Treasure! Striking it rich!
The stone is adorned with strange runes. The stone is adorned with strange runes.
Paint a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Twas Jagetta, friend. Volume 1.
Careful now, that's a trap.
The stone is adorned with strange runes. You speak the words out loud and hear an inviting click nearby.
chilled to my bones.
Intruder spied.
I need
Hauling
hastening!
an anchor!
Careful, I spotted a trap.
Like hauling an anchor!
Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied. Intruder spied.
I must focus.
Better chill!
Intruders one. Intruders one. Intruders one. Sister, we are free! And who is this? Can it be that a frail mortal human faced and bested our own scheming Boreas? Ah, but this is no mortal, I see. Strange you take the guise of a source hunter. But I shall of course honor your chosen form. Indeed, I suppose I should have expected that one of your kind would snare our brother sooner or later. Boreas always did dance uncomfortably close to the dark arts. But I suppose the others of we elemental monarchs thought it better not to interfere in the affairs of his realm. No, like fools, we waited for his pride, his hunger for more and ever more power, to pull us from our own seats of safety and into his sordid storm. We, and with us all the subjects of the realm of Faery, do owe you our lives, Source Hunter. If, no, not if, but when, we might be of assistance to you in this dimension, you must call upon me personally. I am King Sewer of the Summit Kingdom of Calvia, brother, alongside the other elemental monarchs, to the unfortunate and insane Boreas. In earlier days, we ruled the four realms of Faery in relative peace, each of us the master of our own kingdom. But something changed in Boreas. He grew darker somehow, more than was typical of his usual melancholy. We worried, yes, but chose not to intervene. Boreas was the lord of Hiberheim, and it was his right to rule it as he pleased. When our brother called the elemental seats to convene in Hiberheim, we were ecstatic. Boreas seemed again interested in the joint rule of Faery, in upholding the long-established diplomacy of our lands. When we arrived, however, it was not Boreas who greeted us, but a dark figure. A woman with a stare like blackest fire. In her staff she held a demonic power, the likes of which I've never felt. And as we were sucked into its depths, we thought we'd never see the light of Faery again. Source Hunter, it would be my sincerest honor. Take this rune, and use it to summon me when you're near the witch once more. If she can be extracted from Boreas' ice, I'll find a way to make it so. I listened closely when I could to Boreas' doings. From what I could tell, it seems this woman had little contact with our deranged brother after the initial exchange of the staff. From what I could tell, the arrangement was thus. She gave him us, contained, and in return he gave her access to his great star stone, and scores of imps he'd invited to Hiberheim. After that, the two parted, and I heard little more of the woman. In his fits of madness, Boreas would sometimes bellow abuse about the demon woman. I can only assume he meant the same who trapped us. I smell it. We best be on our way then. The spring and autumn kingdoms will grow themselves, you know. May our paths cross soon, Source Hunter.
There she is. The
I
White
don't know how long
Witch.
she'll last
A
within that ice.
prisoner in ice.
There must be a way.
I wonder what sorcery, or worse, sorcery, we'll have to use to get her out.
I don't know how long she'll last within that ice. There must be a way.
This is your White Witch, then? And you're sure you want to free her, are you? Even our mad Boreas wouldn't have wasted such precious ice on a petty criminal. Whatever she did to find herself here must have been rather severe indeed. But I am in your debt, and I would be remiss not to honor your request. Shield your eyes, Source Hunter. To melt ice of this refinement, I'll need to summon an equally rare flame.
Gods, it's colder than a witch's teat. How very callous of Leandra to inter her only sister in a barren tundra for eternity.
Icara, you're all right? The ice. King Boreas. and your sister. What a frigid hell you've endured.
And yet not even a frigid hell like this could induce you to put on a shirt, could it, Arhu? My old friend, surely I have you to thank for my salvation.
That honor goes to a pair of talented source hunters, actually. If not for their efforts, I'd be quite uselessly prowling around your prison still.
Then perhaps I ought to address my savior directly. Source Hunter, is that the masquerade? Well, what a motley crew we are. Isn't there somewhere a bit warmer we might discuss matters? Ah, yes, of course, of course. Do pardon me. I didn't mean to imply you were very clearly eternal beings in the guise of minor mortals. Not at all. Please, let's do carry on. Oh, yes, I suppose I am. But I do prefer my given name. Icara, that is. Charmed. But I hope I haven't disappointed my own hero. Am I just as white and witchy as you'd hoped? First things first, Source Hunter. For my freedom, I owe you every imaginable thanks. My soul had withered in this prison, and I might not have survived much longer without your help. Now, about the culprits. My corrupted sister and the mad Winter King. When I realized exactly where, and to whom Leandra was consigning me, I was certain I'd never enjoy the sun's warmth again. But neither she nor I anticipated the Source Hunter. That was her mistake, and my blessing. I never would have imagined Leandra capable of dealing with the likes of Boreas, but she has changed into someone I hardly recognize anymore. I take no pleasure in the memory of that night. The thought of hurting anyone or anything is abhorrent to me. But in this case, I judged it necessary. If you've come this far, I trust you've learned that the Counselor was far from a humble civil servant. This doesn't excuse my behavior, but perhaps it can help to explain it. It's a sordid story, to be perfectly frank. Two sisters, a philanderous, treacherous wizard, death and mayhem. Are you sure you're interested in such things? The sparkle in your eye belies your better nature, Source Hunter. Now I know that it is your duty to get to the heart of this. And, in truth, the events of that night were but one part of a larger and much darker matter. A matter in which I'll dare to beg your assistance before we're through with one another. Now that terrible night. One night, as I slept, I had a sudden revelation. No dream, but a vision. My sister Leandra and my lover Zandalor. I didn't understand, but I recognized their location. Syceel's King Crab Inn. I arrived and looked through their window, but inside, everything was wrong. Leandra had fled, and Counselor Jake stood over the wizard, a knife in his hand and hate in his eyes. As I watched, he drove the dagger deep into Zandalor's heart, and I was too late to stop him. In that moment, I broke. I saw before me not a man, not even a beast, but evil incarnate. And I used Source to slay him. On the floor lay Zandalor. In my hands, I held Jake's life force. I had sworn never to use Source, but I couldn't walk away. And so I did the unthinkable. I used the Counselor's life to save Zandalor's. He was alive, but only just. Betrayal. Murder. Source. We were all of us guilty now. If you were any other Source Hunter, I suppose you'd strike me down where I stand after that terrible admission. Fortunately for us both, you are no other Source Hunter. My own little sister, if you can imagine it. She was always the more ambitious, the more exacting of us, and she had no fear of the darkness that so often accompanies Source. Her collusion with King Boreas in imprisoning me here confirms my worst fears. She is planning something far greater than I could have anticipated. For this reason, and with a heavy heart, I must ask you, Source Hunter, to find out how far exactly Leandra has become entwined in the dark arts. I hate to extend my own invitation, Source Hunter, but I believe I ought to accompany you to Zigzax's hideout. Presumptuous, yes, but I'd recognize the imp's essence just about anywhere. Both he and you must learn more about the darkness that has extended itself into our dearest Rivellon. And I believe I know where we must begin. Ah, but unless that's a bear flailing through the threads of time, I do believe Master Zigzax is on his way. Make way, Source Hunter, landing in 3, 2...
Hunters, you've done it! Icara is free! Ah, what good it does my impish heart to see her safe and bright as ever! We have much to discuss. Come one and all to the end of time. A spot of something warm and the soft glow of the tapestry ought to do us all a bit of good, Icara. Now, if we're done playing hide and seek, let's not waste a jot more time. Oh, I just can't wait to pick your every synapse.
After you, Master Zigzax.
So that's the White Witch, eh? I expected someone a little more evil. I can't say I'd cut her down from a stake, but she sure has fewer horns than I expected.
Oh, if only Jarrett were here to meet her. He would have loved to lay eyes on the White Witch of so many legends.
We've solved the murder and caught the culprit, yet this case feels anything but closed.
There's more to this crime than simple fact. Killing a killer is hardly the same as killing an innocent, after all.
We'll have to learn more before we can assess Icara's true guilt in this matter. Fortunately, she seems quite eager to tell us more about this entire dark affair.
Intruders by.
Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap.
Well, Wanderer, this well is still stuck here, willing to weep at any wee thing. Oh, will I ever see Wally again? What's this? The smell? How wonderful! What a joyous surprise! Wanderer, you've saved me. Come near to me and read it. If all goes well, I should be back in Sicil with Wally in no time. Oh, woe is the wish granter, whisked so far from where he lays his hat. His powers grow weary given enough time, and his wishes wear away as his woes wax. I won't be able to manage much anymore, but perhaps there's still a way. What say I will some of this dreadful weather away? I think I can still manage that, and for 2,050 gold, you, wanderer, can wish which weather I switch. Perhaps I could wind down this wild blizzard, or whack out the lava-burbling volcanoes to the north. What do you say? Oh, what a wonder to enjoy the tinkle of gold inside me. So, wanderer, what will it be? Shall I tame the blizzard or the volcanoes? It's time to wish your wish.
We should end this snowstorm. We can't see where we're walking.
You're right. And it's cold.
We'll weaken the great white winds, will we? Wonderful. 1, 2, 3, and the blizzard is no more. Sicil! Will you visit Wally and I again? Oh, wisest wanderer, we'd weep with joy to witness your return. We'll meet again, wanderer, we will!
Intruders by.
Whisked Willie back to Wally. Wow! Whip out your wallet and wing a bit of gold my way, and I'll wow you in return. This well wishes to work his magic. What would you like to wish, our most willing friend? Decide how much you're willing to spare, and I'll will you something wondrous in accordance. Wow! What have we here? What wealth! Please enjoy your reward. Walter! Walter, look! Our wanderer has returned to us. Hail, hero!